All right, guys, we're out here at the 2021 SIG Hunter Games. I want to take you guys through some of the tips that we're giving these competitors as they're going through the courses of fire. These are some simple things, but they've really helped me out over the years. Number one is always having a good zero on your rifle, but sometimes that can be kind of confusing as far as the process. One thing to remember is you're always moving the bullet. So when you shoot, if you are trying to figure out which way to turn the elevation knobs, remember you're always moving the bullet. So if the bullet's hitting on the left side, you need to dial your scope right so that the bullet moves right. That's really helped me out to kind of think of it in that process of, hey, I'm shooting left, I need to move the bullet right, and then I'm able to make my adjustments really quickly. One thing a lot of guys are using out there is laser rangefinders, and I've come up with some pretty cool techniques in competition to be able to use these things really quickly and really effectively. Whenever I find a target, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to range beyond that target so I can see what the backstop is, so that if I range that animal or that target and I get a similar distance, I know that animal's this side of me and I know it didn't hit that target that I was looking for. So first thing I do, hit the backstop, then I start lasing with the actual target. That way I know when I get a good laze on that target. Another thing to keep in mind when you're shooting rifles, most of the time you're not shooting from a stable position like a bench. All you really need to do is provide stability to the front of the gun and to the buttstock. And you want to get stability all the way from the ground to those 2 points. If I can hold those 2 points still, I'll be able to aim this gun on target and get a good accurate shot. So generally, we're going to rest the front of the gun on a tree or a fence line or something like that, and that part's going to be relatively stable. The buttstock, you want to think about bone structure from the ground to this point. And if you can do that, you'll be able to get this gun very stable. So you might want to lock your knees. You might want to make sure that you don't have your back's bent over. You want to try to stay relatively upright. All of those things, if you can think of bone going from the ground to this point on the buttstock, you're going to be able to get very stable very quickly. Another thing to keep in mind, if you're spotting for a shooter at any point in time, but especially in a hunting situation, you don't want to watch the target, you don't want to watch the animal, you're trying to observe that impact. So the first thing I do is I kind of visualize what should be getting ready to happen as I'm bringing those binos up to my eyes. I'm expecting a round in the middle of the target, or I'm expecting a round to impact behind the shoulder. It's very important to be able to call that miss and help that shooter, but you can't do that if you're watching the animal run away or you're sitting there staring at the target. You need to be looking for where that round went and have the discipline to focus solely on that. The number one thing with rifle shooting is zeroing your rifle. You must have a zeroed rifle. If your rifle's not zeroed, none of the rest of it matters. You have to have a zeroed gun. So take as much time as you need, make sure you have a very stable platform, make sure you get a very good zero, because you can have everything else figured out, but if the gun isn't calibrated properly, there's no way that you're going to be able to execute a good shot.